2010 and 2020. So what are they doing? Well, they're of course printing a lot of money. They're borrowing a lot of money, and they're driving this massive tumorous consumer spending spree, which naturally is driving up the debt of the country as a whole and individual household debt in particular. So household debt is going through the roof. Government debt is going.
All right, everyone, just time for another little reminder, which is that when you label people who have nothing in common with Nazis as Nazis, you sort of cheapen your own argument. The biggest risk of this, I've told people there are multiple points of overlap between the Western world, not just the US, but the entire West, basically, now and the Weimar situation. I think other than the economic side, which is thankfully improving, everything else is basically there as a lead up to actual extremism, which is mostly absent, actually, when you look at the Western world. Right now, we have people who think that if you wear a MAGA hat, you're an extremist. Or if you're like a member of the DNC, you must be an extremist. Those are not extreme positions. They're not dichotomous opposites. There are a lot of people who think that it's basically just the far right and the far left, and then a little sliver of like independents or centrists or something. They think that everyone on the left is stereotypically like a total out there granola crunch hippie, and everyone on the right is like the Bible thumper, Klan robe wearing, burning cross waver. They think of these two sort of separate schools, and the problem is that their lumping ideologies have nothing in common really with either of those bipolar, actual, true dichotomous situations. Well, the horseshoe theory aside or whatever. The problem is that they're lumping other ideologies that are far more vast, far less stereotypical, typically more modulated in with those poles. Like if someone wears a MAGA hat, well, they could fundamentally on some issues be a total liberal. Maybe they're to the left of you, but you as an Antifa member, of course, you say, well, I'm a fascism, basically. Someone is a Democrat. There are certain assumptions that are made about them. Now, which kind are they, though? Are they a blue dog? Are they a neoliberal? Are they a progressive? Are they like a Sanders socialist? There's different groups. It's becoming a political problem for the DNC, holding them all together. I don't know if they managed to make it to 2020 fully intact. I'm going to tell you, the Democrats have way more problems than the Republicans right now. The map is beginning to switch in favor of no blue wave. Trump's approval is now in the mid-40s and rising. He's doing fine. The economy continues to improve faster than they expected. No recession, no new war. And yeah, all the cards are stacking against the Dems right now. Outside of the House of Representatives, they'll gain support there unless something catastrophic happens. But the big problem is that people who are part of the new left, you could call it, you have a new right, which is the old right was not really a pro-freedom movement at all. It was basically God's guns and stuff like that, and tax me slightly less. The new right is more ironic shit posting, more of a constitutionalist, I think, appreciation. Now, I'm not talking about the alt-right. The alt-right sort of starts out from the same primordial spawn and has diverged from what you could call the new right at this point. I'm seeing two different camps emerging. One which is slowly spiraling itself into non-existence. Again, it's not popular for me to say this among some groups that watch me, but that is what is happening. You're getting into debates over minutia that that they don't even make sense. You then have the new right, which splinters off, which is still kind of just a pro-free speech and pro-trolling almost movement. They get lumped in with the alt-right, but then again, so do libertarians. And here's why we libertarians, minarchists or ANCAP, why we're getting lumped in with Nazis. And by the way, I'm well aware that it's not true that all of these people are actual National Socialists. Some of these people are far-right fiscally, some far-left. There are different, again, minutia that they debate over. It takes a toll. Although it is a form of evolution of a political movement. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I suppose it really depends on who prevails over everyone else and if there's more schisming over time. There's also kind of an alt-right, but it's sort of closer to the new right at this point, I think, for most intents and purposes. But you have this problem where because elements of the new right believe in free speech, if you believe in free speech and don't want to punch Nazis, that makes you like a Nazi enabler or a gatekeeper or something along those lines. It's a big problem when you're trying to have sane, intelligent public discourse, and the average person can only say one of two things, cuck or Nazi. That's essentially what they've boiled down to in many cases on political issues. You've got to understand, people who tend to be more prevalent in discussions, especially online in politics, are people who have stronger feelings about politics. Who's likely to have stronger feelings about